everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar with MLB 14 the show, and we've got Nolan Ryan's first minor league baseball game. So this is going to be kind of cool. I have no idea how this is going to go. I'm just going into this game because it really could go either one of two ways. Either I do ridiculously awesome or I do ridiculously bad. I'm feeling it's going to be more of the latter since I haven't played a minor league baseball game in quite a while, and I don't know how my attributes necessarily stack up to some of the hitters I'm going to be going up against. So in this video too, I am going to take your guys' questions and answer them. So if you don't get your question answered on here, don't worry about it. This is something I'm going to be doing actually quite a bit since as far as like the Nolan Ryan series, this is always an opportunity for me to get to know you guys a little bit, you know me a little bit, just stuff like that. So yeah, so enjoy the gameplay here and I will start getting to the questions. Okay, so the first one is what was my favorite sport growing up and team? Okay, so growing up, my favorite sport, well, it depends like what age you're talking about when you mean growing up. So when I was like really, really little, it was college football. And since I'm from Nebraska, the Cornhuskers were my favorite team. Like I remember 94, 95 and everything when we won the national championship. Like I was just super excited because that for me was like 4th and 5th grade. So I would like make all these like little projects and stuff. Like it was the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, so my parents bought like Tostitos chips, and so I cut out the Tostitos from the bag and I drew the Nebraska logo and like the Florida Gators logo and you know, Miami, whoever it was, and I made like this huge poster. And by huge poster, I mean it was just a piece of paper. So yeah, so that was it. But it wasn't until high school really that I got like seriously into baseball. Like I loved playing baseball, but I just didn't know like the teams, the players, and things like that. So it wasn't until 2001 that I started to become an Oakland A's fan. That was the, you know, with Giambi, Matt Damon and stuff. And my friend's dad, who is OBGYN, he invited me with his son, of course. So his son invited me, but it was okay through his dad for me to go to spring training with him in Arizona. So 2002 we went down and I saw the Oakland A's. And remember, this is when the whole Moneyball thing was going on. And I was like, wow, these guys are kind of cool. Like, you know, I think I'm going to like the A's. And then everything happened with their winning streak and stuff. I'm like, wow, this team really is awesome. And then I learned later on about what was actually happening during that time. I'm just like, you know what, that's it. I'm an A's fan, hands down. So, yeah. So college football and baseball growing up. So, next one from Mr. Hurricane's mug. Dunbar, who has been your inspiration in life? Was it your parents, an athlete, and why is he or she your aspiration? There's a few people who have been inspirational to me. What I look at more for people, or like I have a whole series of people, like they inspire me for one particular attribute. So if there's anybody though, I mean, I would say my dad. My dad is honestly like the most caring person and everything. Like he really has never given up on me no matter what. So I appreciate that and I love him for that. And just kind of be an example to me in that respect. But, like, I look at Lou Gehrig as my favorite athlete. He represents for me just, you know, remembering what you have and looking on the bright side of things, no matter what's going on. There was a general in the Civil War, Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. I mean, if you've ever seen the movie Gettysburg or kind of know anything about the Battle of Gettysburg, he was in charge of a regiment called the 20th Maine. And they were on the extreme left of the flank, and the rebels were charging at the line, and he ordered this bayonet charge that drove off the rebels when they were like down to absolutely no ammunition. And so that one maneuver saved the left flank, which saved the Battle of Gettysburg, which saved the Civil War, depending on who you ask, arguably. But, I mean, I look at a picture of him, and I think that one small action can have a huge effect on a lot of things. So it reminds me of all the decisions that I make, the potential consequences of it, and things like that. Actually, there's a lot of generals too, like military-wise, that I look at personify certain attributes or things that I just want to emulate. So, yeah, that's, I mean, if there's anybody who's inspirational, like one person, I would say my dad, but there's a lot of people who represent stuff that's inspirational to me. So, yeah. Cherry 999 asks, did you used to play baseball in real life? Were you good? What's your best memory from baseball? And have you played any other sports? So, yes, I did play baseball in real life. I played through high school. Was I good? I don't know. Like, I've gone back and forth on it. Because, one, I don't want to be, like, a selfish person and all boast and be like, oh, heck yeah, it was good. I mean, I played catcher, and I was really, really tiny. So, when I was growing up, I was 5'8", like 130 pounds. Like, I was a really, really tiny guy. But I was the catcher because I was able to catch pitches that nobody else could. Like, my reaction is, I don't know, it's above normal. I'll just put it that way. So, I could hit pretty well. I mean, I didn't hit for power, but I was definitely a gap hitter. And so, extra base hits all day. That was me. I mean, I had a lot of speed as well. So, I was stealing bases right and left. So, I mean, I like to think I was good, but as a catcher, I wasn't your ideal catcher. I did play outfield for a while, but being 5'8", there were a lot of people that were taller than me, and so they actually ended up playing outfield and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence from it. Best memory from baseball. There's a few of them that stand out. I've told this plenty of times, but the time I punched Java Chamberlain, because we played in high school together. He played for Northeast, and then I played for Lincoln East. And we made fun of him because he was really fat and out of shape and stuff, and we had no idea how he was going to be. But there was this one game where I was playing catcher where he round third. It was pretty legitimate. He took me out and knocked the ball loose. I mean, that's just what happened when you're 130 pounds and you're going up against a guy who's over 200. And then later on in the game, he rounded third again, and it was obvious that he was just going to try and take me out. So I stepped to the side, and I went to tag him, but I hit him in the face with my glove and the ball. So I say I punched him, but that's my one claim to fame. But I don't know, like the all-time favorite was actually catching when my friends were pitchers too, because we would just call timeout. I'd go out to the mound and stuff, and we would just shoot the breeze, really. I mean, we'd talk about anything but baseball. And, just there was one time too where my friend accidentally hit somebody, and we knew this kid outside of baseball. And so the kid who was at bat thought it was intentional. And so he started walking towards my friend, and my friend was actually walking to go get the ball. And so the kid at the mound, or at the plate, thought he was walking towards him too. So he was starting to get all riled up, and he drops his bat, and I'm still on with full catcher's gear, and I pick up the bat, and I tap him on the shoulder with it. I'm like, that's not a good idea. And so we kind of laughed about it later on and stuff. I mean, I never gotten like a fight or anything in baseball, but it was just moments like that where, like, my friends were pitching and I was catching that. It was probably some of the, really greatest moments for me. So, good question. How did I meet my wife? Well, we've got a couple different, and this is from Top Dog. We've got a couple different stories because I won these tickets to go to a water park in Omaha, and she had a friend who won tickets. So, we had a mutual friend who knew, my wife, but obviously we weren't married then, and her sister. And so my wife was there, and I walked up to her. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And she didn't hear me. She just turned around and walked away. And I thought she seriously ignored me. But, so a few months later, we have another mutual friend. She actually ended up dating him before me. They broke up and stuff, and he's like, you know what, you should really go out with this Jeff kid. And so she saw me, and I was very different than anybody she had ever dated. Because I was like a geek and, laid back and stuff like that. And she never dated anybody like me before, and she loved me, and we got married. So, depends who you ask. But what does my wife do for a job? She's actually a stay-at-home mom. So, we've got our son Hiram, who's 15 months old. She stays home with, so I'm the only one making money. So Rocket P-Bird here I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, what's your favorite thing outside of working YouTube? There's a lot of things I like doing outside of working YouTube. So, I don't know. I want to be more of like an outdoors guy. So I bought a kayak this year that I want to spend time going out on the water, just relaxing. I mean, just to kind of go with the whole, I wish I was more outdoorsy. I've even been reading on how to build a log cabin. So that, I don't know, like just being outdoorsy, like relaxing, chilling, honestly hanging out with my family too is really cool. Like, I know you guys probably hear that a lot, but when you become a dad and everything like that, or a mom, depending on your gender, you're really going to get an understanding of what it means to like love hanging out with your family and like what it means to like love your kids. So seriously, that's one of my favorite things to do. Like, I love my son, I love my wife. Like, I'm just so happy when I'm around them. So probably spending time with them. What's my wife like? She's awesome. I married her. No, we just laugh quite a bit. I mean, we're very, very similar in everything too. So we're honestly like best friends, which I love, because there's some relationships that you see, especially with like adults, you're just like, how do you guys put up with each other? But I like to think it's pretty obvious with my wife and I why we are together and stuff. So able to get a few more in here. What's my personal job? So I work technical support for Verizon, so I'm mostly fixing stuff. Now that's probably going to be changing in the future. So, yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys know, of course. I mean, in a couple months, I may have a new job, which I'm pretty excited about. So it's going to be along like IT, working with computers and stuff. So that's more the direction I've wanted to go. So that'll be cool. Tech Fun asks, what is your personal... Oh, you asked me that. My bad. Kyle Campbell, how long do you think you have... or how long do you think your YouTube career has left? It's a good question. I honestly don't know. I mean, if I get this job where I'm working during the day, it may just be a matter of months. But, I mean, I thought, too, because my wife knows this is important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of you guys, too, so I'd probably find a way to keep making videos, maybe just, like, baseball only. You know, just kind of get rid of some of the other stuff. Like, still play it for fun, but, you know, just only focus on posting baseball. That might be it. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, because if, I mean, there's some other stuff coming down the line that's really going to limit my time being able to do this, because the way that YouTube goes for me right now, I mean, I work from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 11 o'clock at night, which is late. And I don't go to sleep right when I get home from work. I mean, I stay up for a while. So my wife and son, they go to sleep, and, you know, that's usually the time I'm up doing this. So, with that being the case, I mean, if I, you know, get a job where I'm going to be, you know, awake at the same time they are, I'm going to be spending time with them and stuff like that. I mean, another thing is if this just stops being fun, I mean, in some respects, you know, it really isn't the same type of excitement than when I first started doing YouTube, because it was like, oh my gosh, I've got a video on YouTube, or like, oh my gosh, I just got a subscriber. And don't get me wrong, I mean, that stuff is still special to me, but it's something that when you've done this for 2-3 years now, there's some things that just, you know, you're just used to it. And it's just not as exciting. I mean, I'm sure you guys can think about it too. Like, if you guys play baseball, you know, you can probably remember the first time you caught a fly ball, how excited you were. And now, you know, if you catch fly balls on a regular basis, it's just another thing. So, I mean, if it just stops being fun, you know, I'd let you guys know. But anyway, that's it. Like I said, more questions or Q&As to come later on. So, like I said, if you didn't get your question read off, that's all right. So a pretty good game for Nolan Ryan, too. I mean, I stayed in here till the 9th inning, and I don't think I allowed a run, if I remember right. So all-around good game. So I expect us to be able to go through AA baseball pretty quickly if we keep having games like this. But thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. More of this to come later on, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. But you guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thanks again for watching. As always, you guys, I hope you have a good one.